Welcome back to the God of Minute Maid podcast. We're so thrilled you're here. In honor of the start of summer, we are talking today about the pools of our lives. It's a funny chapter about the whole experience of summer starting with nonstop swimming. And then we'll be talking to Anjanette, appropriately enough, about her song Superhero, which you are going to love. So let's get started.
This is a production of Pioneer Dream, celebrating 30 years of moving stories for corporate, nonprofit, and entertainment partners. Please help us keep the conversation going by rating, liking, and subscribing to this podcast. Thank you.
Chapter 10. Pull It Together. Remember when you were a kid and the very thought of summer made your mind go numb with anticipation? It was like winning the lottery twice. First, you were finally freed from that elementary penitentiary. And on top of that, you got all the joys of summer vacation. As an adult, I find myself less enthusiastic about the turning seasons. First, there's no relief from anything. I still go to work every day. There's no 3-month summer vacation. Where are my 90 days of slackerware, TV binging, and sleeping in? As a grown-up, my most pressing summer anticipation is the skyrocketing electric bill for AC and my clothes sticking to my inner thighs. And they say youth is wasted on the young. What I really miss about being a kid is the endless hours of swimming. I miss the whole pool experience. It began with our wardrobe. We lived in our swimsuits, and a draped towel around the shoulders generally passed for a shirt. Shoes were always an option in the summer, which made just getting to the pool an adventure. At my parents' house in Coffeyville, Kansas, there were 2 deadly petty obstacles each summer. The first was the ever-present spiky foot mines that fell from their front yard pine oak tree. We called these balls gumballs. It was nearly impossible to get from the front door to the car without impaling your feet on 3 or more of them. Then you had to negotiate the gravel driveway. You looked like a young, unsuccessful magician impersonating a David Blaine magic trick of trying to walk on fiery coals. Now, obviously, shoes would have remedied both these trials, but as a kid, looking homeless like Huck Finn was a treasured right. I wasn't about to yield that freedom. From my grandparents' house, we would go to Big Hill Pool. It was enormous, even by today's standards. The pool was made of stone and had 3 giant archways. Having placed all your material possessions in a metal basket and checked it in, you stood like a king on the large patio, sporting a thunderous jukebox and ample concession stand. For a kid, the pool was certainly the main attraction, but the concession area, that was a close second. That's where you could find sugar in 100 different varieties. Blow pops, sugar daddies, Smarties, bottle caps, pixie sticks, Chico sticks. I think the only non-sugar item they offered was the obligatory giant pickle. I believe the mandatory 30-minute break after eating had nothing to do with kids' safety or cramping, and everything to do with not wanting kids to belch up neon red food dye in the pool. Big Hill is where I learned to swim. My Aunt Betty was the acting manager there. She got me out of the gutter and into the deep end, and isn't that what we're all looking for? A year or 2 later, my family moved down the highway to Bartles, Oklahoma. In search of new aquatic venues, we started driving to Birch Lake. My swimming world changed drastically. Lake swimming, it turns out, is a whole different experience. First, you have to bring your own snacks. Okay, I can adapt. Second, you had to change quickly, so the spiders and scorpions didn't get you in the rustic changing shack. That changing urgency has remained with me my whole life. And third, you couldn't see anything. The water was a discomforting gravy brown color with frequent temperature changes. That meant the slightest brush of anything was certainly Jaws or a monster or worse, a man-eating catfish. Hey, they're real. That phase was shortly lived. I soon found my way to Sooner Pool, which was just a short bike ride from my childhood home. Sooner was reminiscent of Big Hill, just cleaner. It also lacked some of the special features of Big Hill Pool, like the colossally large water pipe they used to fill the pool. You could fit an entire 5-year-old in it. Not that I ever saw that. What Sooner did have was girls. And as a kid rounding the bases into teenageism, that was a draw. I didn't know it at the time, but I was just a couple years from joining the Phillips 66 Splash Club, our local competitive swim team. Soon, I would be intimately familiar with both Sooner and Adams Pool downtown. In fact, the Splash Club gave me the opportunity to visit nearly every water-filled hole in northeastern Oklahoma. That's a lesser-known perk of competitive swimming. As a working teen, I found my way to Frontier Pool, where we taught swim lessons every afternoon. Now, Frontier Pool had a lot of great design features, but chief among them was the massive diving platforms. The 5, 7, and 10-meter platforms were such featured attractions that diving competitions were regular events there. In fact, the 1987 Olympic platform diving tryouts were hosted at Frontier Pool with 2-time gold medalist Greg Louganis competing. That was inspiring for us. Each day after lessons finished, the entire coaching team would climb up the 10-meter platform, and we would stand shoulder to shoulder on the concrete edge. On a clear day, you could see Kansas from that elevation. Then we would each commit to jumping. You know it's a long way down if you can say the entire Lord's Prayer as you fall. It took every ounce of courage most days to throw myself off. Some days I never stopped. I went straight from the ladder to the edge and off the platform without breaking stride. I didn't want to think about it. What I remember is the incredibly long descent. You're falling so long and so fast your stomach can't keep up. It literally starts ascending. In case you don't make it, it will just meet you at the great high dive in the sky. When you're experiencing the approach of the pool water, it's like you're driving and your face is the windshield. From there, it's your feet slapping the water out of the way as your whole body falls in until the pool collapses around your ears. Then you just sink. Sometimes all the way down to the bottom. I always use that time as a systems check, often removing various swimmer elements from various unmentionable crevices. With a bound, you'd push up, kicking feverishly until you surfaced with a gasp. That was great. I just can't wait to do it again tomorrow. Can someone just give me a hand pulling my swimsuit down from around my neck? Well, the Frontier platforms are long since gone now. For some reason, they were deemed a liability. But in its place is a fantastic splash pad. In fact, both Sooner and Frontier pools now have splash pads, and I, for one, am relieved. The last thing I want to do is try proving to my daughter how brave Dada is, jumping to a certain death while screaming like a scared little man. At my age, I'm okay without racing gravity at 10 meters at a time. I'm okay with pretending the concessions are just for kids. What I do miss is the exhilaration of the last day of school and the start of summer swimming. What a feeling. You feel like a man who just got the governor's call in time. I guess on the other hand, it also means I don't have to do the countdown. The fear that every passing summer day is one day closer to going back to school. I didn't love that feeling. Maybe that's what adulthood gives. Balance, consistency, months of the same. Ugh, that seems as appetizing as a lukewarm senior special from the Sizzler. For our part, my wife and I have opted to put in our own pool. We wanted to be the house my daughter's friends came to. It just makes it less creepy when we spy on her if we're not in street clothes hanging out on the side of Sooner Pool. Maybe the pool will offer us a little fountain of youth. At least the concessions will be cheaper. Well, hello, Anjanette, and welcome back to the Got a Minute Mini podcast.
Oh, hey, I'm glad to be here on the Got a Minute Mini podcast. Whoa.
We've asked you today, in the spirit of summer and the summer blockbuster movie, to talk about your song, Superhero, which I thought only appropriate. And so it's a pretty great song, and it's been used already in a couple of different scenarios, and even on our podcast, a little opening
Oh my gosh, that's right.
And so anyway, tell us a little bit about the origin story of Superhero.
Superhero, it's one of my favorites, really. It was one of those songs that, I don't know, sometimes you just hear, like you hear the nugget of the chorus and you think, and that's all you get. And you think,
Right.
oh, that could really be something. And then it kind of comes out in little chunks as you have time to work on it. And so I was excited when it came together. The lyrics are interesting. It basically talks about, I don't know, we're around a lot of people and we've been raised in such a way where we think, a lot of us have like a mission in life, or we feel like we have a calling, or
Right.
we're artists and creative, and we want to be involved in work that matters. And sometimes that can make you feel like the weight of the world is on your shoulders,
Right.
and that, you've got to do all this stuff. And so Superheroes, basically, if you listen to the lyrics, it says, so it turns out you're human after all.
Yeah, right.
And that's okay. And and so I remember when we were trying to figure out how to produce that alongside my brother Jared in his studio, I was like, I wonder what we could do that would be different on this. And then this whole like electronic dance music feel
Yes.
started to arrive. It had this dramatic feel to it.
Right.
So it was really fun, actually. We went into the studio and worked on it in different ways as that emerged. And so it kind of became this dark kind of electronic dance music song. So
Yeah, I remember that process because, obviously you write on piano a lot. And so you get to hear the song in its original format, usually as an acoustic piano song. And then
Right.
there's a lot of conversation about what genre you'd want to put it
Yeah,
in,
or what treatment.
you want to give it. And what I remember about that song is even now we know it as this kind of really fun, inspired dance song.
Right.
But at the time, it could have been an acoustic guitar song. It could have been
Yeah.
a country song. It could have been
I don't know
a
about
pop
that.
song. Yeah, it lends itself to a lot of things, and it would have worked in any one of those genres, which I always think is kind of the test of a good song. If you can still perform that song as an acoustic song,
Yeah,
and it
by
works,
yourself.
then I think, oh, that's great. If you can strip it down from the production and it's still a good song.
Yeah.
And this song is like that.
Well, thank you. That being said, I'm really glad that we decided to treat it the way we did.
Yeah.
Because it's been something I feel like it's kind of timeless and
Yes, it is.
fun, but also meaningful if you listen to the lyrics. So
Well,
thanks for featuring it today.
Let's take a listen to the lyrics and the whole song right now. Here's Superhero.
Just another day, just another dragon. Just lay, they say, get yourself for the fight, it'll be alright. That's what they say. Can't you hear myself think, can't hear myself sing. I've said this all before, but today's the day I disappoint everyone. But walking out the door, I saw it turns out you're human after all. It's true that you might fall someday. And when you do, the mortals who love you will stand from dawn to time. Heroics left behind. Let's put our weapons away. Superpowers of fame. We'll fight a whole new way. Hey there, you and me. We can truly be free to love incredibly. And so it turns out we're human after all. It's true that we will fall someday. And when we do, we'll know we're mortals too. And we'll stand together on that day.
Thanks for listening. We'd love it if you'd like and subscribe to the podcast and then share it with the people you know. Also, make sure to check out our other podcasts, Hope for Humans, funny, usable conversations to help change the world around you. This is Pioneer